particularly on vaccines. In the U.S., which we're skewed by, the expectation is hopefully by summer, maybe by next fall, we can have some sort of herd immunity where we can get back to normal. Based on the work you're doing in the developing world, how long is it going to take for the rest of the globe, do you guys think, to reach that level?
It will probably be sometime out in 2022, quite frankly, that as a globe, we have enough vaccine out there, particularly these single-dose vaccines. You're seeing some of them be approved now, the ones that don't need this extreme refrigeration. Those will begin to go out in the developing world en masse at the end of this year and the beginning of next year. So it'll be sometime in 2022 till we have full herd immunity.
President Biden did commit $4 billion to COVAX, and we did start to see those first vaccines getting administered in Ghana. Should the U.S. be doing more, though, whether it's the private sector and some of our companies that are producing the vaccines or the government?
I think, the private sector is doing an amazing job. You're seeing even some pharmaceutical companies having their own vaccine manufactured by other pharmaceutical companies. I mean, those are new collaborations we've never seen before. I do think the U.S. government stepping up even more now in the space of drugs and tests and other supplies like oxygen. That is another place the U.S. government needs to step up so that countries can get this pandemic under control.
How focused are you guys at the Gates Foundation in funding treatments? As we get the vaccines, which hopefully should take us out, do you feel that treatments are still going to play an important role, and are you still looking to expand R&D there?
Yes, we are always looking for new ways to help with COVID. So whether it's R&D in the vaccine space, and so we're looking even at second-generation vaccines, some of the ones that aren't being discussed widely today, and we're also still looking for medications. Because, look, if somebody's progressing in this disease, you need to be able to stop it in its tracks, no matter where they are, whether they're in mild, moderate, or severe disease. And so we always need more tools to help with this.
Some of the female leaders, bringing it back to International Women's Day, had better success rates at controlling their pandemics. Do you think there's something to that?
I do. You see how Germany has made it through this crisis under Chancellor Merkel. You see how New Zealand has done under Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. I spoke with both of those women in the first sort of 5 months of the pandemic, and it was so interesting because we were also talking to other male leaders at the time, and the women were already thinking about where the gaps were in their system, even though their countries were doing incredibly well with the crisis at that point, but they were thinking about everybody else. So Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern was thinking about the island nations around her and how they were suffering and what should New Zealand do. Chancellor Merkel was thinking about the parts of her population that hadn't yet been reached. And so I think sometimes a woman or an enlightened man has a more full view and lens on society. And I do think it makes a difference.
You've also gotten an up-close view into how President Biden and President Trump have handled this. And President Biden campaigned on doing a lot more, being more forthcoming. Do you think his policies so far have been different enough? Have they moved the needle from what the Trump administration has done in terms of just making vaccines more available, testing more available, and everything else he promised?
Absolutely. It's night and day different. Is it perfect yet? Absolutely not. But is it a sea change? I mean, we are delivering vaccine as a nation. Most states, 15% of the population has been covered. So there's more to go, but you're seeing more testing available. You're seeing more hope because people are seeing their loved ones who are older vaccinated. I think, he's just appointed the new head of the CDC. She has a deep global health background. She's fantastic. So I think he's re-empowering places like the CDC. And of course, he's putting Dr. Fauci forward again. He's putting Francis Collin, the head of NIH, forward again, and making sure the real experts are talking about the science.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.